What did I just watch? What's up, y'all? Kirk Kennedy, man. Day one of the 100-day in a row, once a day at least post. You know what I'm saying? So I just need to be honest with y'all. I just got back from vacation. So I've been chilling. I got a buddy, man, solid brother, right? Got a buddy who allowed me and my family to stay at a beach house for the week. So we just got back. Crazy thunderstorms and stuff driving back. It was crazy. But while I was at the beach, I was chilling. It was family time. I was paying attention. I'm looking at headlines, seeing what's happening. Man, oh man. You know in Jude, when it says like snatch people out of the fire, man, I don't know I don't know if you feel like this, but it just seems like people are just trying to go to hell. Like, I mean, just like I remember before I was a Christian, people used to use this phrase, they going to hell in a handbasket, and I was like, I knew what it meant, but now as a believer, as a pastor, I'm just like, man, people are just like trying to go to hell. I mean, it's like, enjoying the trip, got luggage, packing suitcases. I'm watching crazy stuff happening. People flipping out because Trump got indicted with 34 counts. Man, we gonna talk. We're gonna talk. This is gonna be a real challenge for me because I haven't really been posting like that because I was saving up. But I'm gonna get on y'all nerves a little bit. We gonna talk. 34 counts. Oh my gosh. I know dudes in the street that was gangsters that ain't never get 34 counts on an indictment. Crazy. But you know what I just watched? I just watched a ridiculous. I hope y'all watching the Final Four. I just watched a ridiculous first game of the Final Four. I was on the phone with my colleague, the dude that I pastored with. I was on the phone with him. I hit him with an April Fool's joke, right? I told him I was stuck down in North Carolina because it was the beach. It was a storm that washed out the road. I wasn't going to make it tomorrow to preach. Had him. Got him. I was actually going to get y'all too. I was going to tell y'all, man, I'm just playing. I ain't doing no 100 posts, 100 days, April Fools. But I don't even want to do that. I'm going to keep it 100. We're going to get it in. We're going to talk about a lot. But this game, if y'all not watching the Final Four, you don't know the Lord. This game right here was incredible. This dude hit a jump at the buzzer, just how I called it. So that's how it's going to be. Let's talk a little bit about what this 100 days is going to look like, just so y'all know. I'm going to give you just the way I am. You're going to get to see more of how I carry it because, every one of these posts is not going to be, a 30-minute, polemic on some particular issue. Some of these will be shorter. They're going to be 8, 10, 12. My homeboy told me that the sweet spot in terms of getting the most views is between 8 and 12 minutes. As you can see, if you watch my channel, I haven't listened to them yet because I don't do no 8-minute videos, but I will in this reality. So, but this is day one. I'm not going every day I post, I'm going to have something to say, but because this is day one, I just got back from vacation. This is really just going to help y'all know, like, this is what to expect. There's going to be a post every day. I'm gonna get to a point where I'm posting consistently at the same time so that people know. But I want to try to be faithful to I'm gonna preach. I'm gonna talk about. I said preach. You see what I mean? What happens? We're gonna talk culture. We're gonna talk scripture, all that stuff, right? We're gonna talk all of that. So, but this is just we're gonna do this. But first of all, thank you. Shouts to the people that have been hitting me like privately and then on different posts saying, man, excited, can't wait, excited for this. I'm actually excited too. It's going to be work because I don't, some of my friends who do YouTube, this is what they do. Like, this is how they feed their families. It's not for me, right? So to do YouTube, to think through content, to come up with topics and present them to you all and push back a lot of times against the establishment, for me, it's not what I do for a living. I'm a pastor. I rap. I make money through music still, if you can believe that, right? So there's things that I do. This isn't one of them. This is more of I won't say labor of love, because when you say something's a labor of love, it sounds like it's really difficult, but it's more like, man, I just feel like over the years, different people have shared with me that like some of the perspectives that I present are helpful to them. And I've seen that happen outside of YouTube. So I thought, you know what, let's just try to do that and see if the Lord uses it, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna talk culture, we're gonna talk scripture, we're gonna talk a lot of the stuff that I do, but it's gonna be more different because I'm posting every day and all of that type of stuff. So, but I want to say thank you to everybody that has been anticipating this. I'm looking forward to growing the channel as well. You know, I don't, you know, my desire to grow the channel is only so that where I'm helpful, it's helpful. I don't desire to, I don't desire to grow this channel just to have like a platform. Like I'm not one of those dudes that wants to be like everybody's pastor. Like, oh, Pastor Kirk Kennedy, the pastor of America. Man, I don't care about none of that. But I do want to be helpful. And for some reason, the Lord just allows me to, I mean, everyone's unique in one sense, right? Everyone has a different fingerprint. But there are, for some reason, the Lord does allow me at times, or people have said to me that the Lord will give me some perspectives that are different than other people, but that are helpful. So I intend to present that. But we're gonna talk about a lot of different things. Tomorrow's Palm Sunday, so when my post tomorrow, we're gonna get it in. We're gonna talk about all of it. So I'm excited to do this. I'm excited. Thank you for those of you who have been a part of this. And so I was told that once you do 100 days in a row, you just keep going and it just goes out of there. So I don't have a lot of expectations. I don't have any numerical expectations. I do want to grow the channel in hopes that, other things that I'm doing will connect with that. But I appreciate what, you all and being able to do this. So yeah, so this is kind of a pseudo first post. I knew I wasn't going to go real crazy, even though there's a lot I feel like saying right now. But I'm just going to hold off because we're going to be together every day, So I'm going to hold off. I'm going to watch this Final Four and all of that stuff and just kind of, I actually still got to work on my message, fam. You know what? I wasn't in my rhythm. So I got a message tomorrow, Palm Sunday. I sent an email to my church telling them, and I created expectation, and now I might not even meet it. This message might be the worst message in redemptive history, bro. So I got to still work on the message and tighten that joint up as I watch this game. But definitely, I'm here once a day for the next 100 days posting. We're going to get into a lot. Feel free to interact with me, please. I would love that. I would love to have you guys ask questions or say things in the chat. I know some of y'all are familiar. It's the sound bar just kicked in. The sound bar just kicked in, and that's the enemy. So here's what I just turned to 10 Commandments. It's funny. The 10 Commandments. Does anybody watch the 10 Commandments? Have y'all seen it? I mean, it's an old movie, right? The 10 Commandments, in this day and age, today, as of today, the 10 Commandments seems weird, right? Let me tell you why it seems weird. Because a lot of people got offended when, what's her name? Chloe Bailey was the Little Mermaid. So she was going to be the Little Mermaid in the new live action joint. She's black. And, most of the Disney characters be white. You know what I'm saying? So people got offended at the fact that, oh, you're just being woke and you're just doing this because you got to. That's what everybody was saying. I didn't really care personally. I ain't going to watch it anyway, for real. But what's interesting to me is like, when I look at the 10 Commandments, like all of those people are white. They're Europeans. Like these people are Palestinians. They remember in the scriptures where they call Paul an Egyptian, right? These people don't look European, but yet all these white people play all these characters of color. So what is that? If it's woke to put Chloe Bailey as a black woman as the live action view of Ariel, Little Mermaid, which is a cartoon. Then what is that? What is the 10 Commandments? Now, I'm saying I don't really care, to be honest, but I just think it's interesting to do that. All these white dudes, Future, 100%. Let me just highlight this. But it was fine for a white dude to be every Bible character. My goodness gracious. I can tell you right now, if scripture is true, which I believe it is, if scripture is true, and I believe it is, that means Isaiah 53 is true, right? And it says in Isaiah 53 that he had no beauty or that we would esteem him, right? So in other words, the Bible is affirming that so remember when uh the Israelites said they want a king, right? And so God tells Samuel, don't be upset, go ahead and give him a king, right? Give him a king. And so he says he's going to name Saul. And this Bible describes Saul as like a tall, handsome dude. Like I think Samuel even said he looks like a king, like he looked like that, right? He's a good looking dude. David is considered like a handsome dude. He was a smaller dude because he was youngest of his brothers, but said he was ruddy and handsome, right? But Isaiah 53 specifically says that Jesus had no physical beauty, right? So not only did Jesus come, he didn't want to come in any way and people be drawn to how he looks, right? How he looks, okay? But in all of the pictures we see, this dude got long hair like me, nice beard, trimmed up. Like what girl wouldn't like have a crush on Jesus, right? It's just crazy. But anyway, I'm saying that to say the portrayal of these things is always is ridiculous, right? The Chloe Bailey thing, I could really care less about it, but it's just funny that for the longest time, white people played characters of color all the time. But now if a black person does it or a person of color, it's called woke. Man, oh man. I don't understand. So what is it when your former president, has 34 charges against him? Should we wait for I mean, it's a wild time right. It is a wild time right now to be a Christian. All right, so I'm gonna give y'all this. Let me give you the verse. This is the verse that's gonna inform everything I say for the next 100 days. All right, there's one verse more. Let me give you one verse that's going to affirm this day 100 posts. So this is the first day. Here's the verse that's going to affirm. This is where I'm getting my perspective from. This is Matthew 16. I'm going to tell you the verse first and explain to you the context. All right. Here's what Jesus said. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. All right. So this is in a conversation with the Pharisees and the disciples, and they were asked. The Pharisees showed up and were asking Jesus for a sign to prove he was that, right? And Jesus basically said, look, what I just said. You look for a sign, but no one will be giving you the sign, right? But he makes this point. Look, you all pay attention when it's raining. You know it's going to rain because you look at the clouds in the sky and say, oh, it looks like it's going to rain. He said, you know how to read the weather, but you don't know how to interpret what's happening in the world. You don't know how to interpret the sign of the times. Now, when Jesus said that, he was specifically talking about you don't know how to understand that the Messiah, I am here. You don't understand the times that you're in, the signs of the times. Here's what they said the Messiah would do. I'm doing these things, right? This verse is going to be how I talk. I want to interpret, not on some, well, in the book of Revelation, it says this, and then look at yesterday in the newspaper, and it says this about Gog and Magog and China and Russia. I ain't doing that. That's not what I'm talking about. And I don't think that's what Jesus meant. Jesus wasn't saying, take out your newspaper and look at Revelations and interpret it. But I think we need to be able to say, if you're a believer, what does the Bible say about certain things and how should we look? I'm like, in all seriousness, we're going to get to this in another comment, but in all seriousness, should you really be bent out of shape, even if you're a Donald Trump, a conservative or whatever? Do you really think it's a kingdom issue that this dude got 34 indictments and that somehow, even if they were going after him, is that really a kingdom issue? Like, remember when Peter said, no servant gets entangled in civilian affairs? Oh, we're going to talk. I'm going to get on some people's nerves. We're going to talk. I'm going to get on some of y'all nerves. I'm not trying to, but I just know in the culture we live in, everyone's so sensitive. This is the United Sissies of America. We're just like really soft. So there going to be people get offended. I might lose some people at first. They might be like, oh, he's woke. I'm not woke, but I can't stand the Democrats. I can't stand the left. I just don't trust the right either. I stay balanced. That's me. So we're going to have a good time, man. I'm going to give you a lot of me. I didn't even think this video would be this long. And like, here it is. Boom. We already at 15 minutes. Man, welcome to day 1 of the posting a 100-day challenge. All right. Appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. Buckle up. I will see y'all tomorrow. We're going to get it in. I'm going to get back to watching this Final Four and finishing this message. All right. I'm Kirk Kennedy signing off. Grace and peace, y'all. We'll see you soon. See you tomorrow.